Well, first, our guys, they brought unbelievable energy. They matched the energy that was in this building. And coming off finals, you don't know how your guys are gonna come out. And true to form, we came out and Troy went up 5-0. And so I thought we started understanding we got to get the ball inside, and we started getting the ball inside to Daniel, and it seemed like we got a nice rhythm. And it started because of our defense. And I thought they wore down in the second half. I really did. It was a game of runs, and we know we're capable of doing that. And the thing I like, the reason how the runs came, it became because of our bench. Those guys that came in, with the CJ, and it wasn't about him shooting the basketball. I just thought their energy, I thought their ball movement, I thought their defense was very, very good. Adriel Bailey, you had Darius Hall out there with that group, and even Trey Thompson. So again, this team here continues to kind of evolve because different guys, different nights. Macon has a big night, coming home, so you really enjoy seeing that take place. The thing I like about it, he did other things too. He took care of the ball, he didn't turn it over. He made some shots, made some plays. Defensively, I mean, he was really guarding the ball. Did a great job of deflecting passes. And then, of course, Barford gets 7 rebounds. So guys can have an effect on the game different ways, and that's what I like. Daniel, we continue to see him learn the game. He played with 4 fouls going down the stretch. I had some coaches say, Coach, he got 4 fouls. And my attitude at that time was, you know what, he can foul out if he wants to. And it seemed like he played some of his better basketball. He started playing with the understanding that, blocking shots and rebounding the basketball and finishing at the basket. So it was a good team win. It was a good atmosphere, good energy, and we would continue to trend in the right direction. The thing that's really is kind of staggering is when you play up-tempo basketball at that pace. Obviously we want to force tempo, force turnovers. We're taking care of the ball ourselves. We only had 6 turnovers. The last 3 games has been in the single digits. So that tells me now we're playing efficient, and we also beat them on the boards. And I thought a lot of that took place in the second half. But give Troy and Coach Cunningham a lot of credit. They wouldn't go away. Even though we up 20 or 18, they kept fighting, and right there at the last end, we had a surge, and of course we finished the game out pretty strong.
Questions?
Mike, you talk about runs. You guys had like an 18-2 run after they jumped out. Then they cut it back to 1. Then you guys put a 21-2 run on it. Pretty much you never, lost a big lead after that. What was the key to that? What did you think of the way Troy came back and then the way you guys responded with another big run? What was the key to that?
Well, I thought we came out, again, I thought we came out with we didn't come out with that intensity on defense, the energy. And it's funny because as we got to the first TV timeout, I think I got, not TV, but radio timeout. We didn't have any TV. But I got Barford out of there. And then, of course, it seemed like right then and there, all of a sudden now they started dialing in, and I was trying to get guys out of there, and it went it was like at the 11-minute mark. So those guys played like 7 or 8 minutes, well, almost 9 minutes, straight out and they were spent. And then, of course, now we got some fresh guys coming in, and I thought they came in and really triggered it with their defense. We're attacking the basket. I mean, they had some highlights in terms of dunks, and we had 50 deflections as a team. And anytime we're that active, some good things are going to take place for us, and we came up with a lot of those loose balls that we did deflect.
In the first half, it was a game of a couple big runs. Macon hit back-to-back 3-pointers and then hit a layup to guys to give you the lead for good. They battled back, made it a 1-point game. Then it was another big run. What was kind of the keys to those runs for your team to take the big lead on Troy and not look back?
I think what created the runs. I thought our defense was created the runs. We made some shots, but I thought our defense was the trigger of that. Even when they cut it back, they were making shots. I mean, you think after the first half and one at halftime, I looked at they only made 5 threes. Well, they made 2 right off the bat. And then, of course, like you just mentioned it, in that run, they made some threes and we gave up some easy opportunities. But I thought we got tired. Therefore, now, the game is, like I said, it's going to go back and forth. They're a good basketball team. They went to Kentucky, and the game kind of went like that, and it was an 8-point game. It went just like that. Kentucky was up big, and they kept fighting and scratching and clawing, and they're going to do well in the league. And once they get the Bernardo kid back, I think they're going to be one of those teams that's going to contend again.
Coach Cunningham said right before he walked out of here, Daryl Macon goes, this Hog team is going to be very tough to beat. Can you kind of comment on that? I thought it makes a lot of sense there, too.
I think he's important in what we're doing. I think that to me, when he's playing that way, because he's not only just scored, he had 5 assists tonight. He rebounded the basketball. He was really good defensively on the ball. There have been some nights where he hadn't scored. You think about the other night against Minnesota. I think he ended up with like 7 assists in that game. So now you're starting to see he's kind of rounding his game out, and I think that's important for us. But I think it's not only Daryl. I think we got to have Barford. I think we got to have Daniel Gafford. I think we got to have Adrian Obey, those guys that come off the bench. So it's got to be a combination of guys. Teams have already done that, where they just zero in on Daryl and Barford. You stop the Razorbacks, and we got to get away from that. We got to get where it's team. It's team. We got other guys that can have an effect on the game.
Players about the crowds, but back-to-back crowds, Bud Walton against Minnesota, and then tonight. Do you have any flashbacks to the mid-'90s for December games to have that many fans?
To me, it ain't flashback. It's what I expect. I think that's me. That's just me. I think we got an exciting team, and I think they're playing the game the right way. I think our fans are connecting with this team. I think they are, and we got some personalities. We got a little experienced guys, and so I hope they want to come and watch them play. They're very entertaining. They're playing hard. They're playing for themselves. They're playing for their teammates. They're playing for the university. They're playing for their state. So when you got all that going, and plus you're winning, it makes it a great atmosphere. But to your point, I always say I think the crowds, the fans, are a big part of what we do. Whether we play at home or on the road, when they come and see us play, then that says something about our basketball team.
Sometimes guys come home, they get too hyped, and it's kind of struggle. How good was it to see Daryl and Anton have good games and kind of do it all within the flow and not force shots and things like that?
It was real good. It was real good. I worried about that, but when you've done it, like I said, Anton's been up here 4 times. This is his 4th game here, and so I'm sure that he probably had a little butterfly because they always family here. But he came out and just do what we do in practice. They brought their practice to the game. Same thing with Daryl. I thought they brought their practice to the game.
Daniel had his right thumb, I guess, taped up in the first half and then took it off. What's going on with the thumb, and do you think it affected him a little bit before he took off the tape?
I don't know. I was glad he took it off. He made a couple of free throws when he took it off, didn't he? Yeah, I don't know. He may have bumped it at practice yesterday or today. I don't know. But it was kind of funny when I saw it. I asked him. I said, "What is that?" And by that time, he's getting ready to go into the starting lineup. So I didn't say anything. So I'm sure Dave's got it in hand. Whatever. It's minor.
You guys are taking care of the ball really well. I think 3 straight games with less than double-figure turnovers, and just continuing to take care of the ball, which helps get everything flowing for you guys.
I think it's important. I think it's possession-wise. I think we're just playing the game the right way. We had 19 assists. Again, you keep seeing that the assist totals continue to go up. The turnovers are going down. We continue to, even with Troy, they only had 10 turnovers, but you can imagine we sped them up. I thought they sped up tonight. And when they didn't get sped up, they were able to execute their offense because they got a lot of guys, multiple guys that can shoot threes, and you got to pay attention to them. And then, of course, Wesley, he gets to the free throw line and makes a ton of free throws. And when he was open, they did a good job of finding him. So, but that's what we are. That's the recipe for our basketball team. That's in our DNA. We value the basketball. We want to speed you up. If you want to give it to us, we'll take it from you now. But we got to stay in the ballpark on the rebound. We shot a pretty good field goal percentage tonight. 3-point was okay, and get to the free throw line. And we got to continue to get better with that. And our bench, I think when you look at the bench, there's where the biggest difference. We scored 33 off the bench, and we saw the bench even finish the game off in a strong manner.
I think let's go check the playoff. I think you guys had 7 dunks tonight. Gives you 44 for the season. That's obviously a high percentage shot. Just how good is it to see all these dunks?
Well,
it's different guys, not just Gabbard, other guys too.
I think that's the beauty of it is. We're a very athletic team, and I think they're getting a chance to showcase it. And it's when they play defense and they're moving the basketball. We got guys in transition running. I mean, guys got the confidence to throw it up there. I mean, they threw one to Trey, I think, from half court. and you didn't think he would get it. I mean, Daniel ran one time, he was backwards. I don't know how he caught it, but, you know, it's, you know, I don't teach that. God gifted that to him.
And obviously it wasn't a typical shooting night for Jalen, but he gets 7 boards, 5 assists. He found other ways to help you all out.
Well, you know, Bob, that's a great point, because I think that's the way I've told these guys. You got to be able to impact the game when you're not shooting well. What are some of the things you can do? And I jumped him tonight. You know, I thought we was up like 22 or 23, and he came down, and you know him. He liked to go through traffic, and he liked to absorb the contact. And I thought it was a momentum play, and I jumped at him pretty good. But for the most part, I think that's a sign of a guy that's becoming, because now he's doing other things than just putting the ball in the hole. I mean, he's been shooting the ball so well. I mean, you think about it, he's been really playing extremely well. And I thought he played well tonight. He just didn't shoot the ball well.
Bob mentioned your shoe game. You said you're up in your shoe game this year. Talk about your shoes tonight.
Yeah, actually, we used to wear. I like wearing tennis shoes, you know, but it's I don't know. Some of it, I guess, I have to thank my wife for it. She tries to get me all this stuff, new stuff, I guess, and I don't mind trying it out. So, but I told somebody out there I got to step up my game. My guys are stepping up their game. I got to step up my game too.